What's up everybody, it's Z, and today we're diving into a book that has sold millions of copies and inspired countless people to take control of their finances. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Now you might be thinking, a book written in the 1920s, what could that possibly teach me about money today? And trust me, I get it. But here's the thing, the principles in this book are timeless. They're just as relevant now as they were back then, and they've helped people from all walks of life build real lasting wealth. In this video, I'm going to break down the key lessons from The Richest Man in Babylon and show you how you can apply them to your own life. We're talking actionable steps you can take right now to start growing your wealth, just like Arkad, the richest man in Babylon. So, whether you're just starting out or you're already on your financial journey, stick around because this video is for you. Let's head back to ancient Babylon, a city of incredible wealth. Our story follows Arkad, a humble scribe, not exactly rich, right? But Arkad has a burning desire to change his fate. He's tired of living paycheck to paycheck. He sees others prosper while he struggles. Arkad gets a break delivering a tablet to Algamish. Algamish, a financial genius, takes Arkad under his wing. He teaches Arkad that wealth is built on smart, disciplined habits. Arkad applies these principles and becomes the richest man in Babylon. He shares his wisdom with others. Alright, let's dive into the first and arguably the most important lesson from The Richest Man in Babylon. Start thy purse to fattening. What this essentially means is, pay yourself first. Before you even think about spending money on anything else, set aside at least 10% of everything you earn. This 10% is non-negotiable. It's your golden ticket to building wealth. Think of it like this. You wouldn't show up to work and not get paid, right? So why are you showing up for yourself every day and not paying your future self first? Now I know what you're thinking. 10%? Graham, I'm barely making ends meet as it is. And trust me, I've been there. But that's the thing about this principle, it works no matter how much you earn. Whether you're bringing in a few $100 a week or pulling in a six-figure salary, that 10% is crucial. Here's the thing about saving. It's not about how much you make, it's about building a habit. It's about changing your mindset from I can't afford to save to I can't afford not to save. It's about prioritizing your financial future. Now, where does that 10% go? Well, it can go into a high-yield savings account, it can go towards your emergency fund, or it can go directly into investments. We'll talk more about that later. The important thing is that you're consistently setting aside that money and putting it to work for your future. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day and neither is a financial empire. Alright, let's talk about the second crucial lesson from The Richest Man in Babylon. Control thy expenditures. This one's all about budgeting, living below your means, and making sure your money isn't vanishing into thin air. Now I know what you're thinking. Budgeting? That sounds about as fun as a root canal. But trust me, it doesn't have to be a painful experience. Think of your budget as your financial roadmap. It helps you track where your money is going, identify areas where you might be overspending, and make conscious decisions about how you want to allocate your hard-earned cash. The first step is to track your spending. And I'm not talking about scribbling down a few numbers on a napkin and calling it a day. I'm talking about getting serious about understanding your cash flow. You can use budgeting apps, spreadsheets, or even a good old-fashioned notebook, whatever works best for you. Once you have a clear picture of where your money is going, it's time to identify areas where you can cut back. And be honest with yourself here. Do you really need that daily latte? Is that subscription service you barely use worth the monthly fee? Could you be saving money on groceries or transportation? The key here is to be mindful of your spending habits and make adjustments where necessary. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was to treat savings like an expense. That way, it becomes a non-negotiable part of your financial plan. Alright, now that we've covered the importance of saving and budgeting, let's move on to the fun part, making your money work for you. This brings us to the third crucial lesson from The Richest Man in Babylon. Make thy gold multiply. Now Arkad wasn't talking about burying his gold in the backyard and hoping it would magically multiply. He was talking about the power of investing. He understood that money sitting idle is actually losing value over time due to this thing called inflation. Investing your money is like planting a seed. You're putting it to work in the hopes of reaping a larger harvest in the future. One of the most powerful concepts in investing is compound interest. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's essentially the process of earning interest on your interest, which can lead to exponential growth over time. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it picks up more snow, becoming bigger and bigger. The same thing happens with your investments when you reinvest your earnings. Okay, so we've talked about saving, budgeting, and investing. But what about protecting the wealth you've worked so hard to build? That's where the fourth lesson from the richest man in Babylon comes in. Guard thy treasures from loss. This lesson is all about being cautious, doing your due diligence, and not falling for get-rich-quick schemes. Remember those clay tablets I mentioned earlier? Well, Arkad learned the hard way that not all investments are created equal. He gets caught up in a pretty bad investment scheme and loses a significant chunk of his hard-earned wealth. It's a classic tale of being blinded by the promise of easy money. He let greed get the best of him and didn't do his research. Luckily, Arkad had the wisdom to learn from his mistakes. He realized that protecting his wealth was just as important as growing it. So, how do you guard your treasures from loss? First and foremost, if an investment sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Be wary of promises of guaranteed returns or opportunities that require you to make a quick decision. Second, do your research. Whether you're investing in real estate, stocks, or a business venture, take the time to understand the risks involved. Knowledge is your best defense against bad investments. So there you have it, the timeless wisdom of the richest man in Babylon. These ancient principles, saving consistently, controlling your expenditures, investing wisely, and guarding your treasures from loss, are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Remember, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about making small, consistent changes over time that compound into significant results. So start today. Implement these lessons into your own life and watch as your financial future transforms. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your biggest takeaways and how you plan on implementing these principles into your own financial journey.